Okay, guys, you ready for 7-8? So this lesson is considerably more difficult than the last one. It's not the hardest thing we should have covered this year, but it's also not the easiest. So the first four are warm-up problems. You're just factoring. Make sure you look for a greatest common factor first. So number one, there we go. You've got a 1, a 14, and a 45. They have nothing in common, so we're going to go ahead and factor. Remember, we want factors of C that add to give us B. So our factors of 45 are 1 and 45, 3 and 15, and 5 and 9. Which of those add to give you 14? That would be 5 and 9. So this one ends up being x plus 5, x plus 9. All right, so number 2, again, check. That's a 1, that's a -3, that's a -28. There's nothing in common, so we can go straight to factoring. We want factors of a -28 to add to give us a -3. Well, we've got 1 and 28, which is never going to give us anywhere near 3. We've got 2 and 14, again, nowhere near. 3 does not go in, but 4 goes in 7 times. That's it, but I want a -3 and a -28. So that means I either have a +4 and a -7 or a -4 and a +7. Which of those gives me a -3? Whoop, that one. So that's x plus 4, x minus 7. All right. Number 3, we've got a 2, and a 24. Well, a 2, and a 24 all have a 2 in common. So we're going to go ahead and factor out that 2. And remember, when we factor it out, we put it out front. 2a squared divided by 2 is just a squared. Sorry, 2a divided by 2 is a. Ow. And 24 divided by 2 is 12. Oh, this is going to be annoying. All right, so from here, you need the factors of -12 that add to give you a +1. Well, are 1 and 12 going to give us 1? No. Are 2 and 6 going to give us 1? No. 3 and 4 will, though. So I either need a +3 and a -4 or a -3 and a +4. Which of those gives me a +1 when I add them? No, that'd be these. So it's going to be 2 times the quantity x minus 3, x plus 4. And the last warm-up, you've got 4, 24, and 20. 4, 24, and 20 all have a 4 in common. So we're going to divide everything by 4. We're going to put our 4 out front. That leaves us with p squared minus 6p plus 5. I need my factors of 5 that add to give me a -6. Now remember, if this is a positive and this is a negative, that means I'm dealing with double negatives. So your only factors of 5 are -1 and -5. Well, -1 plus -5 is -6. So those are our factors. Remember, we got to keep that 4 out front. So p minus 1, p minus 5, that's it. So those are a review of the last couple of lessons we've been doing. What we're getting ready to do is new. We are getting ready to factor these, where you have a number out front that cannot be factored out. So ax squared plus bx plus c. So when your a cannot be factored out by a GCF, we can possibly still factor the trinomial. The steps below show a method called slip and slide. So you're going to slip a to the end of the trinomial multiplied by c. And then you're going to factor the new trinomial. You're going to divide by that a value, and then you're going to reduce. So this, I understand this makes no sense. So we're going to go ahead and do one. So what you do, you've got 2x squared, 5x, and 3. Do 2, 5, and 3 have any numbers in common? No. Now, we can't factor these like we did these because of this 2. The old way was to make parentheses and literally guess and check and FOIL. The new way is grab your 2. Grab whatever number is out front, drag it to the back, and multiply. So what's 2 times 3? 6. So you get x squared plus 5x plus 6. Now this we can factor, right? Because we know we need factors of 6 that add to 5. Our factors of 6 are 1 and 6, and 2 and 3. Which of those add to give you 5? 2 and 3. So this becomes x plus 2, x plus 3. Now, here's where the tricky part comes in, because if you think about it, if you FOIL this, if you do our first, outer, inner, last, you're going to get this expression, not this. So see this 2 that we got rid of? This is where the 2 comes back. We have to divide by 2 right here. And then if you can reduce, you must reduce. So it's 2 divided by 2. And I'm going to put a star right here because that's your special step. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, so that becomes x plus 1. Does 3 over 2 reduce? No, it does not. So what do they call it? They call this bottoms up. So you take the bottom and you drag it up. It goes out front. So that becomes a 2x plus 3. Now, the reason this works, if we FOIL this back out, what's x times 2x? Well, that would be 2x squared. What's x times 3? Well, that would be 3x. 1 times 2x is 2x. 1 times 3 is 3. Combine our like terms. You get 2x squared plus 5x plus 3. So you have to have this version where we divided by that 2, not this. So example number 2. All right, 5, 17, and 6. Do they have any numbers in common? No. So grab your 5, drag it to the back, and multiply. What's 5 times 6? Well, that's 30. So we've got m squared minus 17m plus 30. Now again, if this is a positive and this is a negative, when I find my factors of this that add to give me this, I'm going to have double negatives. So -1, -30, does that give me -17? No. -2, -15, does that give me -17? Yeah, it does. So I'm going to have m minus 2, m minus 15, and then right here, special step, I'm going to divide by what I had out front. So I'm going to divide by that 5. So does 2 over 5, does that reduce? No. So grab your 5, drag it out front. So that gives you 5m minus 2. Does 15 over 5 reduce? Yeah, that's 3. So m minus 3. So again, these are not exactly easy, but they're not all that complicated. They do take some practice getting used to and remembering this division step. So number 3, Lord. All right, 6, 5, 4. Anything in common? No. Grab your 6, drag it to the back. So that gives me y squared minus 5y minus 24. I need my factors of -24 that add to give me -5. So are 1 and 24 ever going to give me 5? No. 2 and 12 ever going to give me 5? No. 3 and 8, are those ever going to give me 5? Yes. So you're either going to have a +3 and a -8, or a -3 and a +8. Which of those gives you a -5 when you add? Ding, ding, ding. So that becomes y plus 3, y minus 8. Now from here, we cannot forget that 6. Can't do it. Nope, nope, can't do it. So we're going to divide by that 6. All right, now, does 3 over 6 reduce? Yeah, it does. It becomes 1/2. Does 8 over 6 reduce? It does too. It becomes 4/3. So we're going to make another star on this one that you have to reduce. Now, you cannot leave those fractions. That's why we have to do this division step and then do the bottoms up. You're not allowed to have fractions in your factors. So grab your 2, drag it out front. So 2y plus 1. And then grab your 3, drag it out front. So 3y minus 4. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to move my hand and not move the paper. And example 4. So 12, 11, 5, do they have any numbers in common? No. So grab your 12, drag it. 12 times 5 is 60. So you're going to have, let's see, there we go. C squared plus 11c minus 60. I want factors of -60 that add to give me 11. So are 1 and 60 ever going to give me a number close to 11? Nope. 2 and 30? No. 3 and 20? No. 4 and 15? Yes. So it's either a positive 4 and a negative 15 or a negative 4 and a positive 15. Which of those gives me a positive 11? So C minus 4. And then we're going to have C plus 15. We got to bring that 12 back in, so divide by 12. 4 divided by 12, that reduces. That becomes 1/3. And 15 over 12, unfortunately, that reduces too. That becomes 5/4. So from here, you can't have those fractions, so drag up. So 3C minus 1 and 4C plus 5. All right, I'm going to stop this video and then go grab a highlighter for the back.